Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are taking a look at what I watched in the month of August. So let's just jump straight into this. At this point, there's going to be a playlist on my channel that has all of these videos in there if you're interested in going back and watching some of those. But I mean, at this point, if you've seen any of them, you know the drill. So we're going to start the month in August. I started by watching the Blade trilogy for no particular reason at all. Obviously, it's been a little while, I guess. Little Deadpool spoilers. But I had never seen the Blade trilogy, so I wanted to go back and watch it, and I thought it was fine. It wasn't like I wasn't the biggest fan. The first two I think were okay. The third one definitely does take a big step back, Blade Trinity. But I thought they were fine superhero movies. And then we have Bad News Bears. I'm gonna put this one at a 2.5. And I'm sure you've noticed a theme that's been going on over the last couple of months, I think the last 3, maybe 4 months, of some Richard Linklater movies. So each of these Richard Linklaters that I'm going to talk about in this list, I'm not going to say a whole ton because, as you can tell, there is a video that's coming either next video or 2 videos from now, at some point this month for sure. And then we have Signs. This is one of those where it's just a big omission of like films that you'd think I would have seen as someone who loves M. Night Shyamalan. I had never seen Signs, and so I finally decided to watch it before going and seeing Trap. And surprise, I loved it. I'm gonna go put it Signs up at a 4.5. Then we did have Trap. Trap is one of the most like people love it or people hate it, and I feel like I'm on an island by just saying it's a middle of the road. I'm putting it at a 3 star. I'm not like so passionate either way of like loving it or hating it. So it's kind of a fun seeing a movie that is kind of like that divisive that I just find fun at times, but also I can see where both sides are coming from on Trap. And then we have Tape. Again, not going to talk a whole ton about the Richard Linklater movies on here. We're going to go with a 3.5. Then we have the original Alien. I'll put a link in the description of this video to my Becoming a Better Cinephile episode of Alien if you want to hear some more of my thoughts on that, but we're going 4.5. Then we have Fast Food Nation. I will say that this is one of those that I went into it 100% thinking I was watching a documentary, and so when it just kind of like kept going and all of a sudden was like a fictionalized narrative story, I was a little caught off guard, but we're going to 2.5 there for Fast Food Nation. And then we have Aliens, and we're going to go all the way up to a 4. I almost like it as much as Alien, and I think it's one of those that I'm sure the more I watch Aliens, I'm sure I could see it kind of getting to that same level as Aliens, but or as Alien. Sorry, it's hard to the original Alien. It's that one was just on first watch. That one hooked me so much more than I think Aliens did. But they're both really good, and I think by far obviously the best of the series. Then we have Dazed and Confused. This one we're going to put up at a 4 star as well. And then we have Alien 3, the David Fincher one. Where am I putting this? Probably a 2.5, 2.5. This is one where there's a lot of things that didn't work. There's a lot of things that it looked way cheaper, I think, than the first two, which is never a good sign if, as the series is going on, the films look worse and worse. Obviously, just not getting the same budget, or at least just not the same like care and attention put into those things. So there were some things that just really didn't look good. I will say that I kind of liked the ending of this film. I liked kind of where they went. And remember that thought in a couple seconds because we're going to cut in between real quick and go with The Sixth Sense. The first time I saw this a couple years ago, I had it at a 4.5. And I think part of it was maybe my enjoyment of it was a little hindered by the fact that I already knew the twist that was coming in at the end of the film. Rewatching it now, years later, obviously, I know everything about the film. Something about it just clicked and hit a lot harder on this watch for me. So I'm going all the way up to a 5 star there for The Sixth Sense. And then we're going back here, Alien Resurrection. So this is the one where, like, Alien 3 is saying I kind of liked the ending, and then Resurrections instantly kind of just like ruins it. Like, and it brings Ripley back. It brings Sigourney Weaver's character back when she kind of had a good send off. I think to her trilogy. So kind of just bringing her back and kind of it feels like lessening and weakening her character a little bit. I just didn't love it, and so I'm going 2 star there for Resurrection. And then we had Waking Life. One thing with a lot of Richard Linklater's animated films is it does take you a little bit to like adjust or like kind of vibe with the animation style. His all of his animated films are so unique and so like out there. This one took a little while for me to kind of get the hang of it, but eventually, I it was an okay film. I'm putting it at a 3 star. And then we have Prometheus down here. I'm gonna put Prometheus up at a 3.5. I had seen, I guess I had heard some people kind of talk when they talk about the Alien franchise that Prometheus wasn't necessarily a lot of people's favorite, and that kind of kind of caught me off guard a little bit because I genuinely had a great time with Prometheus. So I'm moving that all the way up to a 3.5. And then we have Me and Orson Welles. We're gonna put this one right here at the threes. And then immediately following it up again with Alien Covenant. This is another 3.5. I think both of the films, Ridley Scott's films and his prequel like trilogy, or what hopefully eventually at some point will become a trilogy, are both really good, and they're on the kind of the upper tier of the Alien movies. Like I don't know if it's just because it's kind of his franchise that I just kind of have been gravitating a little bit more to all of the Ridley Scott Alien films, but I definitely prefer them, so it's going all the way up there. And then we have It's Impossible to Learn to Plow by Reading Books. This we're going to put here at a 2.5. This is the debut film for Richard Linklater, so it kind of, the very first film kind of shows you a little bit of like what he's going to be and what he's going to do in the future, but it's a little rough. It's not the best, of his filmography by any means. And then we have Alien Romulus. There are some things about this that I really enjoyed, and then I think there's a lot of things here that are kind of just not really well done, and kind of the use of bringing. I don't want to. It's obviously it's been out a little bit, but I don't want to give too much away. There's a character that they bring back that I didn't thoroughly enjoy, and there's just some parts of it that I get. A lot of people really enjoyed this film. I think I'm just a little like a couple steps back on my enjoyment level of it. I didn't fully love it, and then it just goes kind of crazy at the end of the film. Which honestly, I might need a second watch to decide whether I loved or hated how crazy it went at the end of the film. But for now, we're just going with a 3 star there for Romulus. Then we have Parasite. I talked about the Richard Linklater video being one of the next two. Parasite, my Letterboxd 4 video, that will be one of the next two as well. Then we have Inning by Inning Portrait of a Coach. It's your very kind of typical standard ESPN documentary. And as someone who loves sports, I think I enjoyed this more so than what I might have, what other people might. If you're not a big sports fan, obviously you're not going to enjoy it a whole ton, but I just wasn't very invested in specifically Texas baseball. So I think if it was any other, subject that I was more passionate about, I'm sure I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But for now, it's just kind of slightly below average. We're just going to go 2.5 there. Then we have Old. We're going to put this at a 2.5 as well. And then we have the Newton Boys. I think we're just kind of on a hot streak here of a lot of things coming in right at around a 2.5, just kind of like a step below, or kind of just like right at an average film. Nothing super memorable about the film. We're going to put it here at a 2.5. Then we have Knock at the Cabin. This is the second time I've seen this, and I enjoyed this a whole lot more this watch than I did the first time. And I don't know if part of it is because the first time maybe there's kind of a thing where you can kind of find yourself being let down a little bit, if you're kind of trying to figure out where the film's going, and if it doesn't go a certain way, you're kind of let down. I think there's something freeing about seeing a film for a second time where you know where it goes, and you can kind of just enjoy the ride as it takes you there, So I think I just kind of enjoyed everything about it a whole lot more on this watch, and I bumped it up to a 3.5. Then we have Dee Dee, which is has just passed Challengers as my favorite film of the year so far, so we're throwing that all the way up at a 5 star. Then we have The Visit. This was kind of the film that a lot of people were kind of considering, like the return of M. Night Shyamalan. I remember when this came out, a lot of people were like, "Oh, M. Night Shyamalan's back," and I'd have to sit and think about this. I think this might have been the first ever M. Night Shyamalan film I've seen. Oh, no. I think I saw The Visit. Or, excuse me, The Village. I think I saw The Village. before this, but this is like the second like M Night Shyamalan film I'd ever seen, because I remember seeing this in theaters, and I remember just like hating it back then when I saw it in theaters. It's a little better than I remember, but it's still not good, and I'm putting it down at a 2 star. And then we have Jackpot, new Amazon Prime movie from this year. We're also just throwing that at a 2 star. And then we have kind of the surprise M. Night Shyamalan trilogy, Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. We're going 4.5 for Unbreakable, 4.5 for Split, and I initially had Glass at a 4.5 on my first watch. Actually, I should say my first like 5 or 6 watches. I watched this so much when it was in theaters. I will drop it just to a 4, so I think I have it way higher than a lot of people, but I'm definitely going to drop it because it clearly is to me. It's a tier below the other two, but it is still a lot better of a film than I think a lot of people give it credit for. All right, and then time to rank these films in each of their tiers. Down at the 2 star, let's go with probably like Resurrections at the bottom. Blade. I mean, maybe Jackpot is the best of this group down here. Whoops, not what I meant to do. Probably something like that. So probably go Jackpot, The Visit, Blade Trinity, and then Alien Resurrections. The 2.5s we're gonna go with. Probably Innings by Innings. Bad News Bears. Old. Actually, Alien 3 probably. Honestly, that might be the top, actually. We might go Alien 3, Inning by Inning, Bad News Bears, Old, Fast Food Nation, Newton Boys Learning to Plow. Actually, I'd probably go Newton Boys, Fast Food Nation Learning to Plow. It's impossible to learn to plow by reading books. I'll give it the full title. The 3 stars. Probably gonna go Alien Romulus at the top, then Trap. Probably that might be the order. Alien Romulus, Trap, Blade 2, or Blade 2, me and Orson Welles and Waking Life. At the 3.5s, let's go with Prometheus. Probably immediately by Alien Covenant, Knock at the Cabin, Tape. It's probably the order. The 4 stars, we're going to go with. Honestly, I might go like this. I might go Aliens, Glass, Dazed and Confused. And then the 4.5s, we're going to go Unbreakable. I think I go Unbreakable. Oh, this is tough. Where does Alien fall in this? Because that's definitely the order of the M. Night Shyamalan films. I would go Unbreakable, Split, and then Signs. But where do I put Alien? I'll probably put it there. I'll go Unbreakable, Alien, Split, Signs. And then the 5 stars, I think, is pretty easy. Gonna go Parasite, Sixth Sense, Dee. So there it is. There's all 31 films that I watched in the month of August ranked. Let me know down below in the comments which of these films have you seen any of these films? Do we have a similar rating on some of these films? Are we very different? Again, film is obviously very subjective. We can, maybe I love Parasite, maybe you don't. Like there's discussion that can be had about like how you feel about any sort of film. So yeah, just let me know if we have varying degree if we differ like a ton on any of these ratings. And then also, again, there's going to be multiple links in the description for previous videos that I've done on this channel that I kind of were talking about here. And then there's also going to be, again, if you watch this whole video, you know what two of the next videos that are coming up on this channel are going to be. Hopefully within the next couple weeks, going to start pumping out a couple more videos a little bit faster than I've been doing the last little bit. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to like the video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it, and have a great day.